Hey guys, it's Mumu. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a Draw This in Your Style by my friend Niji.tan on Instagram. This is a Niji draws a lot of different things, but she does amazing job at drawing guys. I'm gonna try and insert some pictures in this video as a quick example above this attempt of what I'm trying to do. Right now I was just trying to figure out the pose. I thought it would be cool if he's just like on the curb drinking coffee, things like that, but I decided to go for a slightly different pose later. As you can see, I didn't like it, so I started a new layer, and this is a new pose that I'm doing right now with him. So I actually used to draw mainly guys when I was younger. I just loved everything about anime boys, 2D boys. But I didn't know how to draw girls back then. I kind of mainly drew guys. All my original characters were guys. Everything that came out of my head, I just drew only guys. And then I stopped drawing for a while because life happens and such. And when I decided to come back to drawing due to I think I talked about it before, but my emotional states, I decided to do art all over again and do it as a stress-free thing. And when I did do it, I started to draw girls, which I've never, ever drew before. So it was very shocking to me. But then when I decided to draw boys again, I was kind of I didn't know how to do it. So seeing Niji draw such amazing boys in her style, it's just crazy how good she is. So I decided to take on a challenge. This isn't Niji's first Draw This in Your challenge. She did another one, but this is one of the ones that I was really surprised that I was able to achieve. Here is my very noob attempt of trying to do perspective and how to kind of get the vending machine in the back. I did the best I could, honestly, at that point in time. I'm sorry if you guys can hear the cars outside, the windows open. But yeah, because I don't draw boys as often, this was a really nice pleasant surprise of how the sketch was going, and I was really feeling him. So it was really nice to see how easy sometimes it could be trying to draw something you haven't drawn in a long time. I mean, I tried to draw boys before this Draw This in Your Style, trust me, but it wasn't coming out the way I wanted it. So with this Draw This in Your Style, I was really happy with how everything kind of came together. This is more like the turning point where I was feeling more confident in my art skills and how they were going. So definitely try to do things outside of your comfort zone, not just a background and such. Here I flipped the canvas because you have to. Things start to look super weird if you don't, and it helps your eyes kind of refresh instead of you being used to your mistakes as you continue to draw them. So then I flip it back. What was I saying right before this? Oh my god, I have a memory of a fish, seriously. But I think I was saying how you should try things you're not used to or you think is challenging, because it will honestly improve your art and you as an artist. Because even if you don't end up being great at it or good at it, you still have the knowledge of what you did with that piece, and it ends up stacking your foundation more and more, which ends up making your pieces slowly come together. So sometimes people will be like, why do I have to draw traditional art and things like that? And for me, I sort of feel the same sometimes, but I also enjoy the challenge. And then whatever I learned from it, even if I don't think I did, I sometimes would be like, oh yeah, like I shaded it this way or worked backwards, and I'm able to apply it now. So this is like a similar situation. I have a friend who was really scared of drawing guys because guys are hard, honestly. Come on. We all know they're hard to draw. So those who draw guys, but yeah, but she ended up trying it, and then she's amazing at it. Like, also, it became like so easy for her, and I just love seeing her art pop out. So now I'm doing the line art in this process, and line art usually, it depends. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. It usually depends how good my sketch is. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I have really, really, really messy sketches. And me finding the right lines to choose to make something pop or sing or feel the flow is sometimes hard. So I usually do, well, I didn't do this before. I usually do one sketch and then line art. And then you have to figure out from all that mess which is the important lines. But then I started to do a sketch, another sketch, line art. I don't remember, I wasn't fully paying attention to before I was talking, so I don't know how many times I redid that sketch. Could be once because it looked clean, but usually if it's not a clean sketch, I would now do more than one. It depends on the art piece. Yeah, so here I'm putting in, so I always color, not always, but I like to color the background base a certain, like any color, so it's easier for me to kind of like color pick skin tones, mainly skin. Skin is the hardest thing for me to pick because I always feel like, is it too pale? Is it too like dark for the character that I'm trying to do? Is it too yellow or too orange? And depending on like the character you're either doing a fan art of or what's in your head, sometimes you can have a green character and that's totally fine, but you also want to get the right values of it, and that's what I struggle with sometimes. Even though it's like I always end up getting it eventually how I want, but sometimes I like do mini blotches of it. But if I'm doing it on a white background, it's so much harder to figure out what color it actually is. So that's why I started doing a color background first. Like I would just fill it with a color I think I'm gonna do, and then I do color picking. So if you have issues like me, okay, if you have issues picking skin color like I do to match the tone you're going for, what I suggest is coloring the background closer to the background color you think you're gonna have, and then kind of like pick it out. Because if you like, let's say, have a blue background and then you have this background which is like a brown, like a brownish color, then depending on the same color that you pick, it could look way different. So if you already know sort of what background color you want to stick to, you can just fill that in and then start picking your color skins, and it will be a lot easier for you to basically do all that. So now I am putting in slight details with hair. For me, like, hair is fun to do, also very complicated because of the whole strands and everything. So depending what I'm trying to go for, I feel like sometimes I have a concrete process of how I do coloring, shading, things like that. But sometimes, like with this, draw this in your style specifically, I do a slightly different approach. I add a lot more shading, highlight in certain places because I want to have more of an anime look. Anime's always been like a huge part of my life, but it sort of tried doing it. Eventually maybe I'll show you some old art that I've done, but basically this is why I did so many different layers of like shades and highlights, to have that little in between like my style plus sort of like anime style. Yeah, and usually I tend to leave things that I love towards the end, but I think because there was so much involved for this piece that I usually don't, like the fact that there's even a vending machine in the back, like I don't usually do backgrounds as much, and that's not like even a background, but doing the highlights and such helped me like, yes, you can do it, keep on going with the whole process. Now I'm putting in shades. Like I said before, I just color pick it and drop it in. Oh, like hands are like hard, like he's holding a lollipop, so it's like, where does the shadow really go? I feel like I need to use more references. References are definitely helpful. I don't think I use the references for shading part. What I kind of did was, oh, now that I look at it, maybe I should have lifted his fingers a little higher, because this looks a little awkward. It's okay, it's a live and learn moment. But the reason why I do certain places darker, because I feel like wherever, like even though you can't see it on the video, on this video, wherever it like indents, it will be like a darker shade, and then like the little pouchy thingies like these, they have this highlight. So that's kind of the mindset I think of, like where I should put my highlights and where I should put my shadows. I do start to ask myself more questions. Before I was kind of like, good luck type of thing, but now it's more like, okay, this goes here, this goes there, this should be working out or makes enough sense, I guess, for it. Yeah, so now I'm just adding all the little details of lighting and shadows. So that was really quick, but that's where I did a grayscale check. And like I said before, checking your values, black and white, really helps to have certain parts pop up and stand out. Right now I'm trying to give the vending machine like light coming out of it, and that light is hitting him, the original character by Niji.tan. So this is usually how it is, and yeah, I honestly love how this came out. I didn't expect I would be able to do this good of a job with it, both with the shading, putting in all the lights, the effect, giving some thought to it. There I went like, I shadowed his face again, so it gives more of a mood, I guess. And then the grayscale check again to see how things look together, so that he's not too blended in and there's enough contrast between it. What I also do at the end, I do a color balance where I check the hues, shift them how I like them in my preferences, and get the mood I go for. So this is the final image, and I hope you enjoyed sticking around with this video. Check out my next few videos. Give me a thumb up, like, comment in the description below. If you have any draw this in your styles I should try out, you can drop them down below. If you guys actually participated in this one, let me know, because I have been watching a lot of them. This is an older one, but I did watch everyone who participated because everyone draws such amazing boys, and I was just blown away how good it was. Okay guys, I'll see you next time. Bye!